Whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 70s, riding a motorcycle off-road can be a huge benefit to your well-being. But I can also guess that if you're older and you say you intend to start riding, people will look at you a little strange, maybe lift an eyebrow perhaps. The stigma behind this activity is that you will get hurt and you're possibly too old to start or too old to continue such hobbies. I'm here to tell you that is wrong, and I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. So I'll lay out the benefits here, and if you do have those people in your life, be sure to send them this video. Let's first start with a huge benefit here: exercise for your brain. Riding is great for your cognitive function and can also push away and keep at bay mental decline. A 2014 study found that brain exercises help older adults maintain reasoning skills and speed of cognition for 10 years after the research period came to an end. 10 years after. For the uninitiated, let me explain. While you're riding a motorcycle, your brain is doing mental gymnastics. On two wheels off-road, you are hyper aware of the situations and what is transpiring in front of you. You look ahead at the terrain and turns, and your mind is constantly processing: what line should I take? Where should I put my weight? Should I shift left? Should I shift right? Is the left line too dangerous? This is a chess match between the oncoming obstacles and the frontal lobe of your brain. A study conducted in a university in Japan found that riding a motorcycle improves your cognitive function by as much as 50%. This is down to the fact that riding a motorcycle requires a high level of alertness and rapid problem solving. The driver's brain gets activated by riding motorcycles. I have another example for you. Let me ask you this one. Have you ever traveled to a new city, a new place, and maybe you spent all day walking around seeing new stuff? By the time you get home or back to your hotel, you are completely spent mentally. Why is that? Maybe the physical demand, but you've probably done this amount of walking in any other day, maybe your job, maybe walking in the park. So why are you so tired? Well, it turns out that your brain takes the backseat to known scenery. You've already compiled this information, it's stored as memories, and there's no need to spend extra energy. Without knowing it, most of what you see on a normal commute could be auto-generated. But when you explore and you see new things, you're forced to do mental exercise, new places, new information, new thoughts, new challenges, all of which is known to keep your brain healthy and young. Exactly what you're doing when you're exploring driving a motorcycle and you see everything in front of you. Another common point that onlookers will say is it's too dangerous. Well, far removed from riding motocross or enduro style riding, you have dual sport riding and exploring. If you go out in your dual sport and you ride off-road or simply explore day in and day out of 1,000 days in a row, it's extremely unlikely that you will get injured or more unlikely that you will die. If you know your limitations and you don't take any unnecessary risks, you will find this hobby is very engaging and it has little to no risk of injury. Many people take risks in life: smoking, drinking, eating food with arsenic in it, or even simply driving their cars. Of course, I do not judge. We all have lives to live and we're trying to make the best of it, but simply put, by far, riding a dual sport off-road is not the most unhealthy or dangerous thing we could be doing. 8,393,000. That is the number alone of motorcycles that were completely road legal in the US in 2018. Now, you could make the argument that some people have 2 motorcycles and fewer people might even have more than 2 motorcycles. But if I had to make an educated guess, I would say there's probably 6 million motorcycle riders altogether in the US on a year-to-year basis. So in 2019, there was 4,733 motorcycle drivers killed. Out of that number, only 61 of them were off-road, which is 1.28%. So let's say out of 6 million riders, you only had 61 deaths off-road. That is a number very close to zero. Further dividing that number, 70% of those who died were younger than 30, which kind of makes sense. A lot of younger riders get sport bikes, they go very fast, and they might take unnecessary risks. Furthermore, 66% of those total deaths were not wearing a helmet. Now, I understand this is not a perfect extrapolation because we do not have numbers of how many of the off-road deaths were not wearing a helmet versus how many were younger, but my major point is if you ride within your limitations and you wear your gear, it is highly unlikely that you will die in a motorcycle accident, and there's many other things you could be doing in life that are dangerous and have far less benefit. And my last point about off-road riding is, well, fitness. Study after study shows that working out is not only great for your body, but also slows the aging of your brain. Some people may think that on a motorcycle you just sit, but the activity off-road is much more demanding and certainly a lot more than your stay-at-home, desk, or Skype job. Riding off-road can be absolutely physically exhausting. You're working everything from your chest, your lungs, your back, your legs, everything, your core. Everything is activated as you're manipulating your motorcycle, as you're manipulating your body around the motorcycle, and as you're moving between terrain. An article posted in Health and Fitness states that motocross riders burn an average of 600 calories an hour, and riding a motorcycle with any type of vigor at all would burn 200 to 300 calories per hour. Anecdotally, I noticed this myself. When I go on summer rides, sometimes I ride from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at night. I do 8 to 10 hours straight of riding on my riding days. On some days, my fitness counter, my Fitbit, will show me to burn up to 7,000 calories or more on these days. So what I can tell you is riding a motorcycle off-road will increase your general fitness and will have many benefits to your physical abilities, the longevity of your life, and of course, the longevity of your brain's youth. So what can we take away from the information that I just provided to you? Well, riding a motorcycle can be safe, it can be beneficial to your brain, and it can be beneficial to your body. All of these things together, along with the stress relief of just being out there or hanging out with your buddies. This is a great hobby to get into no matter what your age. Whether you're young, you're old, you can all benefit from this hobby. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're too old. Ride at your own skill level, and also always wear your gear, and you should be absolutely fine. Well, as usual, I hope you found my video very informative, and I would like to thank these patrons because these guys are awesome, and these guys really help me to make the content that I make. If you would like to check out the Patreon, go check it out because I actually got a ton of free content on there, and I have a t-shirt club and a lot of new stuff's coming out, modifications, drone shots, all that stuff. I hope you have a good day. Stay safe out there, guys. My name is Andrew, and this is Motorcycles Off-Road. Thanks for watching, guys.